Hi, this is Editor Troxel, and in today's tutorial we're going to learn how to go through the list of bins and see what is in each of the bins and go through all of the bins that are listed. To do this, we're actually going to use what is called a recursive subroutine. What that means is that the subroutine actually calls itself. So this subroutine is actually going to go through one bin. But if there is a sub bin inside that bin, then it's going to call the same subroutine with that new bin, and then it will go through that second bin. Similarly, if that bin has a bin, then it's going to call that same subroutine again with that other bin, and so it keeps doing that until all the bins have been gone through. And so we will see how this works as we go through this routine. So let's take a look at the project first and see how we have things set up. Here is the project I have created. In this project, I've created several bins and put several files in those bins. So I have a GoPro bin, and inside the GoPro bin, I have two GoPro files. Then inside the GoPro bin, I have an audio bin that contains two WAV files. Then inside that bin, I have something called Vid Files, which has two files that begin with the word vid. Besides the GoPro bin, I also have an images bin, which contains a bin that is empty, which I named empty. And then the images bin contains two images. And then I created another bars and tone bin, which has a HD bars and tone generated media. So it will go through all of these bins, then it will show us each one of these files and indicate which bin that file is in. So let's see how we can code that. So here is our project we've been working with for the last several times. We have the app.enableQE, which we do not need this time. We do not need to get the QE sequence this time because we can do everything on the app side. So really all we need is this line right here, and then we're going to call our subroutine and we're going to give it the name of the bin that we want it to go through. So the main bin is called the app.project.root item. So we're going to read through the bin list, and this is our first bin. So let's see what this subroutine looks like. Here is the actual subroutine we're going to be doing. So as you can see, it's called read through bin list. It is a function, and we're passing it the bin that we want it to go through. So the first thing we're going to do is let it tell us the name of the bin that it's looking at currently. Then we're going to go through everything in that bin. We look at the number of items for the children that are in the bin, and we use our for loop. So we're going to go from 0 to the number of items minus 1. The first thing we do is get the current child. The current child will be bin.children, and it will be the ith one. Now here's where the catch comes in. We look at the current child. If we have a current child, then we look to see what type of child it is. So if the current child dot type is a bin, if it is a bin, then we're going to call this routine again. So we call read through bin list, and then we call it using the current child. This same routine is going to process this bin. If it is not a bin, then it is the media. So we're going to alert, and we're going to show the bin name and the name of the media that we're looking at. So let's run this on this project and see what we end up with. So we come over to Premiere. It says right now we're reading through bin untitled1.prproj. So that's basically the root bin, that's root item. This is the root bin. So we're going to say OK. Now we're going to go through the GoPro bin. Oh, now we're going to go through the audio bin. Now we're going to go through the Vid Files bin. Okay, here in the bin Vid Files we have the media, VID, and so forth. Once again in Vid Files we have VID 007. Okay, in the audio bin we have a WAV file. In the audio bin, we have the other WAV file. In the GoPro bin, we have a GoPro file. In the GoPro bin, we have the other GoPro file. So we basically looked at the top 9 lines in our bin list. The next thing we're going to do, we're reading through the bin called Images. Now we have an image in the Images folder. There we have the other image in the Images folder. Now notice the first time we went through the list of bins first. This time we went through the list of images first. Honestly, what makes the difference is when they were added. So for the first 3 bins, I added all of the bins first. The empty bin I added after adding the images. So now when we press OK, we will see that we are reading through bin empty. Because it was added after the images, it came up after the images. And then finally, we're reading through the bin bars and tone. And then in the bin bars and tone, we have the HD bars and tone. So as you can see, going through the bins really isn't that difficult of a process. We just have to go through every bin that is available to us, and the easiest way to do that is by using the recursive subroutine. So we only have one subroutine to go through every bin, and each one is processed exactly the same. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.